hypocritical whenever a state representative says that we need this program because it's cheaper. In a matter of weeks, Maine's industrial landowners who hire foreign workers were given tax breaks, yet Maine small businesses were denied tax breaks for hiring Maine workers. Today, there's a hearing, LD 1383, which will again incentivize foreign labor. The question is, whose side are we on? Are we trying to help the big industrial landowners and Canadian workers, or are we trying to defend Maine workers? I think that's who most of us in this building has been elected to defend, is Maine workers.
Right.
As a logger in Aroostook County, this is personal, and it's real to many of the people back home. I'm sick of watching Canadian trucks drive by my house while guys like you with your families are sitting home unemployed or trying to pay payments on equipment that you have no work for. We need to wake up. Maine is a product, a natural resource that has helped our state prosper in the past. Why are we discounting this for another country while neglecting our own? How does it help our state of Maine to hire foreign workers to bring our product to Canada? We cannot abandon Maine workers for fire sale Canadian wages. This is poor policy and frankly immoral. Shrouding anti-worker sentiment with a pro-business attitude is expensive practice. You've heard me say this before, and I'll say it again. You can't be pro-job and be you can't be pro-job and not be pro-worker.
Oh, all right.
In the last couple of weeks, we've had a number of bills. One of them actually voted on and killed that would have give would have taken away tax incentives to large landowners unless they were hiring Maine workers. We heard, like I said, comments that were really unbelievable in this building for me. I was told that it is a problem of being too rural, that people don't want to take these jobs. And I've also heard arguments that there wasn't a problem because no one was here to testify. So that's why it's so important that you guys and women came down today. I also heard that it wasn't fair to penalize these landowners. So the next week we took up a bill to give tax incentives to hire you guys, which would incentivize it for the landowners. We also heard that was no good either. So we've gone both ends of the spectrum, penalize, incentivize. No one seems to want to do anything except hire Canadians. Today we're going to have a bill that's going to be, I'm going to be on the different side of the issue. LD 1383, like I said, is the industry bill. And what that bill is going to do is it's going to take away 10 years of very small protections that we've been able to establish here in the state of Maine. The problem or the program that we're dealing with is a foreign program that the federal government implements, but we have been allowed in some small cases to implement protections for Maine workers here in the state. And one of these things is what was happening is while this is a law, this H-2A program that is supposed to allow people to get foreign workers to come here when there's a product that's going to spoil in the field, apples, blueberries, things like that, because they can't find anyone to do the job. And it's been twisted into something that's kept these people here working year-round. As you know, trees don't spoil; they actually become worth more if they're not cut. And one of the things that's been happening with that is not only are they bringing workers, they're actually bringing equipment in. Most of the people that are in this room today are actually small business owners. They all own trucks, skidders, fillabunchers, things like that. It's not even so much about the workers as it is about, I mean, it is about the workers, but it's also about small business owners. And they twisted this program in to actually bring foreign equipment in and displace Maine businesses. One of the laws that are trying to take away today is the proof of ownership law that was put on the books in 2005. And we've seen that make a tremendous difference in putting Maine businesses back in the Maine woods. If that goes away, there will be a flood of Canadian equipment coming across the border this upcoming season, which is illegal, unfair, and for the life of me, I can't understand why we want to do it. Another provision of this bill is that they're going to give H-2A workers back their unemployment. Now, last year, whenever the industry was testifying, when we were considering taking away the unemployment, they argued that they didn't even think that these bonded workers were getting unemployment. But what we found out was these bonded workers were taking $500,000 out of the unemployment trust fund, while the people they were working for were only putting $200,000 into it. So the rest of the Maine businesses here were actually subsidizing bonded workers to come here to Maine and get unemployment after they went home. Now, if anyone understands the unemployment program, it says you must be available for work every day that you're claiming. But when you go back to Canada, you don't have a legal right to be here. There is no way that you can have a legal right to work here or be available to work here. And the Maine Department of Labor has no ability to track those people when they're in Canada, so we don't know if they're working and still drawing unemployment. But the simple fact is that the Maine businesses are subsidizing these people to come here to work and get unemployment if this bill was passed today. And probably last and final injustice in this bill is that because the federal government has not been willing to take an active role in this with enforcement, we allowed Maine fire wardens to do enforcement when they were in the woods. It made sense. They're already there for fire suppression and other reasons, and so we allowed them to do some enforcement of the bonded worker program. And this bill would actually take away that, so there would be no one that would be able to actually do any enforcement. That it would be just carte blanche, do whatever you want. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to introduce Senator John Patrick. He's going to make remarks on behalf of Representative Martin, who couldn't be here. Senator Patrick.